So,
Same as these.
how's everybody's Valentine's Day? What?
Huh?
Why are we laughing?
Yeah, why is that funny, Mosh?
Because
Because we're all here right now.
I don't have a Valentine.
I thought you said everybody was your Valentine earlier.
Yeah, it's a platitude. I'm just kidding.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. What about yours, Dizzy? How's yours?
Good. My roommate is off gallivanting with a significant other, and me and the missus just had a nice day in. Made some food. We're gonna order Five Guys in a little bit, and
Ooh.
I'm happy
Oh,
about
Five
it.
Guys.
Yeah, lots of pink bubbly champagne.
Oh hell yeah. That sounds
Just put a
Sounds
straw
great.
in a bottle. I know, right? Not a bad day.
Nim, how's yours going? How's your love affair with your new lightsaber?
It's going fantastically, by the way. It's
Okay.
very loud, so you know.
It's loud?
Just right. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like, are we talking like I could hear it from like the third
From
room
the
over?
other room.
Oh.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, that's
Oof.
loud. That's
Yeah.
okay. I know you don't have your video on right now.
Right.
Could you for science and for the audience at home, can you turn it on to test the levels of it?
So I'm running RTX audio. It probably won't pick it up.
Okay. All right. How many color combinations?
And how many speeds does it have?
Yeah.
That's
How many
I don't even know how to answer that second
How many-
question.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of like flabbergasted right now.
Hold on.
Oh Jesus!
Oh.
It's got a bunch of colors to answer that question at least.
Okay. All right.
And it's got a
Oh my god.
Sorry.
What else does it
I
have?
have a lightsaber down here, and I was gonna bring it out, but I can't find it. Never mind.
Oh my god. Anyways.
Apologies.
No, it's fine.
Derail number
There's no
one.
need to apologize. You brought joy here
No.
today.
yeah, no, that was great.
How many speeds does it have? My Valentine's Day has been good. Jenny and I spent the day together yesterday, and I
Mhm.
didn't have to play Crimson Days this year, so I'm very
Toxic.
excited.
Good call.
Very excited about all the changes that have come to Destiny. Speaking of Destiny, welcome one and all to Planet Destiny episode 269.
Nice.
I'm Dan Finity. I'm your host this evening. And around me are some wonderful folks. One of our regular panel hosts, Nim Plays, is here. How are you today?
Doing well, thank you.
Good, good. We are joined by two guests. One from the Planet Destiny stream team, Dizzy D'Lo. How are you?
I am very peachy, my friend.
MoshPatt, friend
Howdy.
friend of the show, author of How Not to Cook Steak and to Lose Friends. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Why don't we have you guys go ahead and briefly introduce yourselves, what you do in the Destiny community, and why you're here today.
MoshPatt after you, my friend.
All right. Well, stage fright aside, hi, I'm MoshPatt. I exist to just, I don't know, do help people with Destiny on console and occasionally on PC when I feel like pushing wires around. Yeah, I'm not good at any part of the game. I'm just here to be an extra body and tell you you're doing a great job.
All
That's
right.
fair.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's being a little shy. He helps out every Sunday he helps me out with PvE helps
Mhm.
and raids specifically. He's a wonderful raider. And excellent creator. So drop him a follow. Dizzy, what
Like
about
it.
you?
Well, my name is Dizzy. I stream and podcast a little bit, mainly around Destiny. Let's see, I stream for Planet Destiny on Thursday mornings, do some PvE helps, not really much into the PvP world as I have potatoes for thumbs and a keyboard. I run a lore podcast called Drunk Destiny, where we talk about lore over some good drinks with good friends. And I like to shitpost, very similar to our good friend Ellie Bean, just kind of shenanigans and good conversations. Just that's about it. Yeah.
Excellent. Give me just a second here. Well, so what brought you guys? What got you into Destiny? I know MoshPatt didn't play Destiny 1 because he said that at the beginning of the show. Dizzy, what brought you into Destiny?
Yeah. Let's see. So in Destiny 1, I actually didn't start playing until after. Let's see. I guess it was just before Rise of Iron at the end of the Taken King. I was in college at the time, and I really wasn't playing too many video games. And a friend of mine convinced me to buy a PlayStation 4 and play Destiny with him. Just like that. That's the only reason I bought a PlayStation. And I was over at his house one day, just hanging around. Everyone else fell asleep. And I was like, here, just play some Destiny. I was like, okay. And I played about 6 hours going into like 4. And I was like, I'm hooked immediately. So I've just been playing ever since then. But yeah, just honestly, just playing with friends. That was the main thing that got me into it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Pat, what about you? Since you didn't play Destiny 1, what got you to try Destiny 2?
So most of my video games that I played were like wrestling video games and sports video games before this. So I came to Destiny after playing Mass Effect 3. I was like, I need like a first-person shooter or something of the sort, or a shooter of some sort. And I came to Destiny after recommendation of a friend who had his own clan on an Xbox. And then they proceeded to just never play with me. So I hopped around during Curse of Osiris. I hopped through EDZ and Titan only, doing nothing but public events because I didn't know how matchmaking worked. I didn't know matchmaking existed. So I got to level to do raids. And then I found friends after that through the wonders of Reddit, which is weird.
I'm sorry, Reddit?
Teams. Reddit. Reddit is what got me into fully into Destiny. I hopped into r/fire team. There was a group that was looking for people for their clan. I was like, sure, you're Xbox, and I don't know any better.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
And it turned out to be an amazing decision. And I stuck around with them for like a year, and they taught me everything I need to know about Destiny. And then I finally hopped over to PC and PS4 and, said my goodbyes. And now I'm here to,
I want someone to document this as the first case of something good coming out of Reddit.
Yes,
I was going to say the same thing.
It is something good coming out of Reddit.
I was going to contest that, and then I'm deciding not to. You're right. Well, welcome in to the both of you. This is so we haven't had a show. This is the second week of shows, so we have a lot to cover. Why don't we go ahead? So we had the Season of the Chosen drop on Tuesday. What are everybody's first impressions? Let's start with them.
With me?
Yeah.
So I'm actually really enjoying the season a lot more than I initially thought I was going to. When the trailer launched, I wasn't really feeling a whole lot of it. The activity, Cabal again. So it was just one of those where like I kind of looked at it and I'm like, all right, it's Cabal, yay.
Yeah.
Nothing really stood out, but the way everything kind of plays and the quality of life updates that it brought along, like the Umbral system, the Hammer of Proving, which we'll get into in a little bit. Battlegrounds is actually really fun, and we'll get into that later. But I'm really enjoying the season so far. I'm kind of taking it easy, playing other things in the meantime, not burning myself out on it.
Mhm.
So it's a good time.
Yeah. Mosh and Dizzy.
Dizzy, you want to go ahead?
Sure. I really enjoyed it. I probably haven't played as much as some of the other folks in this conversation.
Mhm.
I've played, I guess, well, Dan, you and I did a raid on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just some, good, easy level grinding. I really haven't pushed too much. I'm planning on diving into trials tomorrow,
Okay.
but the seasonal aspects, the seasonal activities, the giant put the hammer down Rise of Iron hammer I actually really love. I like the helm as well, getting to a new social space, just
Mhm.
kind of separate
mean
from
our
the
s-
tower.
Our super secret tree fort that we have with MF Crow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. That MF Crow joke brought to you by Bibbletron. Thank you, Bibble.
Oh, is that Bibble? Amazing.
Of
Um,
course, Bibble would.
yeah.
uh,
No, yeah. So
doesn't surprise me at all.
go ahead and continue. You were at the helm.
No, Helm is good. And the return of Sepix Redux. Just lots of good stuff. I'm with Nem on that. I'm not gonna really jump in and grind my heart out and
Mhm.
push through everything immediately. I'm just kind of taking the season nice and easy. But so far, so good, I would say. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Mosh?
I've actually really enjoyed the season. I liked last season. I feel like the grind thing did contribute to the burnout.
Mhm.
But I'm really enjoying this season, like just I guess grind cycle wise, where
Yeah.
it's like you always have something to do. There's not gonna be a period of time when you're just sitting there bored. And of course, that's just like first week nostalgia of like every Destiny release where I'm just like, this is amazing. And I'm sure something will happen later on down the line. But
We have till May. We have till May to get burnt out on it. So
I think we'll be fine.
yeah.
The calendar, everything looks great. I love the new Battlegrounds mode. That's still amazing. I think a lot of it's kind of like what y'all were saying is just taking a step back and doing it at a normal pace instead
Mhm.
of slamming head first into it.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no rush to really get like your power level up, crazy high unless you're getting ready for like grandmasters.
Even still,
But
that's like weeks away.
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's literally no rush to like burn through any of this. There's new armor, there's cool perks out in the wild. Basically it's one of those rare moments where you can kind of like play at your own pace and not kind of be penalized for it.
Mhm.
Which I really enjoy.
Yeah. So my first experience diving in, I wanted to log in just to kind of like see what the activity was before I started streaming
Mhm.
on Tuesday. And
Mhm.
so for those of you who have been able to get in, this will sound familiar. For those of you this week who maybe were on Steam and were unable to, I'm very sorry, and I hope you got that fixed. But so you log in, and an old familiar voice comes in, Saladin, talking about basically the threat of the Cabal Empire coming
Mhm.
into the system, which I thought was weird. I thought his only enemy was Siva, but here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he comes in.
I was confused.
He sounded mad, just
Yeah.
really upset. Then that's followed by the cutscene with Keitel at requesting Zavala to bow, and then he goes through a very long meme thing that was posted on Twitter not too long ago, basically saying no.
Which is
Ed
arguably the
Zavala-
best part of the entire season so far.
Yeah,
Arguably.
yeah. The out of game meme. That's so good. If somebody can post a link to that, that would be excellent. We also had and then it loads you into the battlegrounds. Like it starts the matchmaking for that immediately, which is I like the battlegrounds. It reminds me a lot of Destiny 1 missions. It just drops you in as like, okay, do this thing. It's a very short mission,
Yeah.
like kind of like what
That's-
D2's adventures were.
Right.
At
That's
launch.
actually something that I really liked about the start of the season too. It's you hop in, you're greeted by the narrative, and immediately you get put into the new activity without having to worry about,
Grinding up the light
shit,
level.
right, exactly. Having to immediately go into like strikes or crucible or gambit, whatever, just to kind of like get your power level up. Which I think it's pretty great. Unlike the stark contrast that was something like Season of the Forge.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, which is like a year. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly a year away in the past, or 2 years.
Yeah.
No,
2 years. It was 2 years.
Yeah,
2
2
years, right?
time flies when you're playing
Has it been
Destiny.
2 years?
Grinding over and over again.
Yeah,
I'm old.
yeah. But yeah, so like that felt very refreshing, and outside of sometimes I was that blueberry that threw the orb, sometimes just missing
Uh-huh.
the battery, and other times completely hitting it on the edge of the platform and nuking myself. So that was real fun.
Yes. Yeah, definitely have been there, bud.
Yeah. So I don't think that's a surprise to anybody on this panel or listening to this show. So
No, not at all.
yeah.
Nah.
So
No.
but at the end, like you're brought out of that battleground and directly into the helm. Directly into
Yep.
the secret base, where you're greeted by a hologram of Zavala, which looked like pretty neat. As
What
well.
did you call that earlier on?
So what?
What did you call Helm earlier on?
My secret tree fort where all my friends and MF Crow reside.
Yes. That's what it was. I
Yeah.
just wanted to hear it again.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It's it's somewhere above the tower. Nobody knows that Crow's there really, except for you, Zavala, and Saladin, and old Osiris. What's his nuts? And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. There you have the Helm war table, where you can get bounties and you can there's a tree, basically. There's a progression tree in there,
Mhm.
as well as the recaster, which how's everybody
Yeah.
how's everybody feel about those systems? What do you feel are its strong points? What do you think could improve with it?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Sorry, I drastically missed it. That was my favorite part of Season of Arrivals, is the constant, just like, I like the design of this weapon. I'm going to spam just this weapon, or like this archetype of weapons. It gives you a choice of like either this or this. It's like more targeted loot farming, which I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard qualms and problems about the higher tiers
Mm-hmm.
and how it needs to be not 58 rolls. Or was that the other? that was a huge point of contention on my stream yesterday. But I mean, all in all, it is. I like the way they match it out to be designed to last for most of the season if you're a casual person.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really a lull in it.
Right. What about you?
I'm glad to see it back. The only thing I was really gonna say was what Gray Fox just said in chat was the one thing that they missed was more Drifter voice lines. I know it's not next to the Drifter, but like for real, like that was one of the best parts about the Drifter trash can, right? Like so I like the mechanics. I like the ability to customize whether it be your armor or what you get. But realistically, that's the only thing that I would say I'm sad about. Right now, it's day 6 or something, but other than that, I think it's good to have that variety back in for sure.
I feel like Umbrals aren't like being showered on me, and that is good.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
No.
First week. First week.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
because that was the same with Arrivals.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause like the first week of Arrivals, I felt like it was a little bit like Umbrals weren't as common as they were by like the last couple of weeks.
yeah. I was gonna
Well,
say
the-
they opened the hose up a little bit on those though. Those
Yeah.
Well, the first week to Forge, cheese existed, where
Mhm.
people were just like AFKing and Forge, and I did it too. But
Well, exactly. So like people were doing that because Umbrals in the beginning they weren't dropping as much as they were.
Mhm.
yeah,
So
and
people did those farms to get them.
wake up at like 5 a.m. and have like 15 umbroiling credits.
Oh boy. I kind of don't
I-
miss those days.
trust me, Reddit doesn't either.
Yeah.
I really like that the prismatic stuff is back. Honestly, I think as it feels like as a collective community, we're kind of done with random drops, and we're headed more towards targeted rewards based on like the lost sectors and the popularity of the prismatic stuff, and being able to focus the engrams into specific rewards. Which you have like the chosen stuff, you have chosen armor, chosen weapons, or like the world drops as well. So I think that's actually really, really, really cool.
Not only that, but you're also able to target specific loot pools, like activity loot pools. The Shadow Price was this week's Nightfall reward, and I saw a lot of people were coming into chat wanting to do Nightfalls again, which is not something that happens often. And it seemed like there was a meaningful reward behind it. So like
Right. Yeah.
on top of that,
Again, targeted.
yeah, you're able to just target what you're aiming for and go for it. Gambit has what's the bottom dollar,
The bottom dollar.
Yep.
which the drop rates on that are incredibly low right now, so there's incentive to play Gambit. I hear the sniper from Crucible. I can't remember what the name of it is.
Frozen something, isn't it?
Something along those lines. That like I hear people like looking for that, as well as for in the Nightfall specifically for the Shadow Price this week, and the Messenger and Trials. So it feels like these are mechanics. These are long haul mechanics in the game.
Yeah.
Like they're making these changes now to freshen up our experience while also returning it to a sense of former glory, right? Like
Yeah.
this is how to me a lot of this is how Destiny 1 felt. And it was kind of missing in Destiny 1. It was missing from Destiny 2 and a long time. And now we're getting a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Yeah. That's true.
No.
So, what were everyone's thoughts on the what were everyone's thoughts on the Sepix Nightfall this week?
I loved it. I thought it was great. And I think actually was it Dado who made a video or something where the way he said it was perfect. It felt like you went into a Nightfall and you just killed things for a good straight 15 minutes. Like there was no breaks. There was no like waiting around for stuff. It was just go in and kill. And I mean, the nostalgia was great too, but just the high energy of it was fantastic. I know that some people are like, it's old content, but I thought it was great. I ran it probably 12 or 15 times just to run it. So I thought it was a great Nightfall.
Same.
Yeah. I didn't mind it. It's fun to grind. It's not monotonous.
Okay, so this is interesting. As somebody who never played that strike before, and before it hit Destiny 2, like what were your thoughts? Like, do you see any differences between the structure of strikes that were designed for Destiny 2 and that one specifically?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
less downtime. There is the fact that there is a scanning portion that involves not just standing there waiting for the thing to scan, but you're actually fighting enemies. There's waves of enemies coming towards you in this enclosed room.
Mm-hmm.
That made a difference. Like time-wise, you don't feel like you're wasting your time in a Nightfall where time matters. And you're just sitting there like, oh, I'm like losing like 30 seconds waiting for the load time for this thing to scan and open up. And like it felt unique to just drop into a weird like war zone where you didn't really know if it was a strike, because most of the strikes are like when you go out into an open area, points don't count. Things like that don't matter. But for this strike, like all those ads, they mattered.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't figure that out until like the third or fourth run. I was like, oh, that's why my score is low. I don't know.
The enemy density was definitely increased, and I think that's one of the big reasons why there is none of that like quote unquote downtime, even though we're still waiting for the ghost to scan the fucking console to open up the gates. So there's always feels like that, there's something there to do. When it's in the same in Battlegrounds, because the enemy density in Battlegrounds is pretty huge. Like there's a lot of uptime and not a whole lot of just standing there waiting for the ghost to finish, as Mosh mentioned.
Do you guys think that the design philosophy between the strikes is different because of the generations that those specific levels were built for?
Probably.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I don't know, I see things like Savathun's mixtape or, the inverted spire where there's still also just moments where you kind of like scan the conflicts or I think Savathun's song might be a bad example because that's also kind of active since you have to bring the orbs from one place to the next. But
I miss that strike. I miss that strike so much.
I do too.
I thought it was a fun one.
Yeah. I don't know. Like with this one, in my mind, it was nice to revisit this one, and the nostalgia bite was just enough. Like it didn't overplay that, and it didn't overstay its welcome. It just was like, here's this strike. Here are some updated things, which with the champions that they threw in, as well as the Briggs in the tank area, like those were nice, smart, targeted changes that make me excited to actually see what they do with Vault of Glass.
Right.
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
Not only that, but also like for me, it felt like there was so much action that if you were to look at if in my mind's eye, if I were to look at the map, it just kind of looks like a block where you're just basically raid redemption, like going through the block, eviscerating everything, right? Whereas most of the D2 strikes feel like they're these long, like paths, like that are only singularly focused. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would argue that like what's the grandmaster everyone hated, Exodus Crash, where like there are certain areas that have the exact same type of feel as when you're scanning inside of the Sepik strike, but it's completely more spread out, and instead of going from A to B and then down to C, it's one giant linear progression where
it's on the rails.
There's a lot of down travel time, which I don't mind that, but I do think that it's because of old, maybe even hardware, not even being able to have so much extra space to build these giant maps. But I almost would argue that shortening some strike, I know that they're not going to go back and do that,
right,
but having those really short strikes that don't take up a whole lot of space, like getting from point A all the way to Z, I think that'd be great personally.
Absolutely. That kind of, so gonna be jumping around a little bit on the on the list that we have. that brings us to a revelation that came this week in the TWAB, where they said that they are going to be, they're not going to flesh out the Cosmodrome to its full glory of parity for Destiny 1 year one. With that being, this is straight from the TWAB. The dev team says, last summer when we revealed our plans for the Destiny content vault, where we cycle out older, underused content to improve... sorry. Had to move something over. Oh, God! Sorry. To improve our ability to evolve D2, we also committed to periodically unvaulting legacy content, merging some of the best that Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 has to offer. That announcement included the reveal that the Cosmodrome would be returning and that it would be fleshed out to roughly Destiny 1 Year 1 parity. When we first shared our plans, we were still early in development and uncertain how far we would go with the Cosmodrome unvault. We were pretty sure if we wouldn't include the Plague Lands, or we were pretty sure it wouldn't include the Plague Lands, but what about the locations added to Year 1 DLCs? Or the awesome colony ship behind Sepic's lair with the Taken King? What about all the public patrol spaces? How much of Cosmo would we need in order to accomplish our goals of having a great space to tell the new Guardian origin story while still giving veteran players a big dose of nostalgia via some updates to the Strike playlist? As we approached Beyond Light's launch, it became clear to us that we had a choice to make. After returning all 3 of its original strikes, do we invest more time and resources into bringing Cosmodrome to D1 parity, or do we switch our focus to building new experiences for Year 4 and beyond? Given that we believed we had achieved our original goals and knowing the community and team's desire for new content, we chose the latter option. But when we made that decision, we failed to properly update your expectations for how far the Cosmodrome experience was going to be extended, and that was a mistake. So to clear things up, with the Devil's Lair and Fallen Saber strikes returning, we don't have any active plans to add more of the Cosmodrome than what is there. We'll be focusing on new updates overall. We will continue to use Destiny Content Vault to drive variety into the live game in the future. The Cosmodrome was our first big push, and later this year, the Vaulted Glass will return. We'll share more later this year. So, with all that being said, what do you guys think the odds are that when we receive content from Destiny 1, we receive older locations, like primarily, let's talk Venus. If Venus is to come back with Vaulted Glass, do you think it would include kind of like the greatest hits, kind of like what the Cosmodrome is to a certain degree? Like, it hits some very nostalgic tones and notes with it, but it doesn't overdo it, and allowing you to kind of live in that space, but also go back to it with older eyes, I guess. So do you guys feel like they'll do greatest hits type stuff, or would you want all of the content to come back in?
I mean, personally, for me, it's all new content. So I'm fine with whatever. If they decide not to put it in, I'm perfectly fine with that, because I know down along the line we're going to reach the argument of, oh, it's all rehashed content. This entire game is just Destiny 1 and we get nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're right back to square one, and then we have new stuff, and then we'll get rid of the old stuff, and then people want the old stuff to come back, and then we'll just circle back around. So to me, I'm fine with them not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think greatest hits is probably like the extent that they should go with. Because it is gonna be interesting however they're going to reintroduce the Vault of Glass.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're gonna pull something out of narrative, something new to make us travel to the Vault of Glass, or if they're properly going to have Venus return. Because I mean, to bring back a whole destination for a season, that's kind of huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's like pretty big. Outside of like, I can't really think of another season where we've gotten a destination brought forward.
Mm-hmm.
So
because we really haven't had one.
Right, exactly. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe you consider Menagerie, but that was with
Mhm.
external help. Because Menagerie was huge,
Yeah.
you know, because it takes place in Leviathan. But
Mhm.
anyways, I would really rather see just greatest hits and then more assets into new stuff.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add to that. I think greatest hits are probably the best of all worlds for
Mhm.
folks like Mosh who hasn't played them before, but then for people that, you know, like you and Nem that have played it for a very long time and have already played it before, it appeases to both. And I think that the nostalgia factor is a big reason why a lot of people still have such rose-colored eyes for Destiny 1.
Mhm.
But getting some of the, you know, the tidbits back into D2, like the systems and the vendor refreshes and then some of the destinations, I think that can make a lot of people happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the only thing that I can so when I've played through the New Light experience
Mhm.
on a brand new character, and it is 100% a better experience than whatever that garbage was that they did previously.
That was awful.
It was not good, and it was confusing. And from what I've heard from some people who tried it, then it steered people away from the game. And the current New Light system with Shahan is very good. For an old vet such as myself, it
Mhm.
was kind of like old hat, but at the same, I could see how somebody new coming into the game, this is far better for them in the long run. When since then though, I haven't really gone back except for the Strike playlist and
Yeah.
the Lost Sectors, and
Right.
specifically only to get the exotic gear, like gear that pops up in them, and then outside of that, haven't touched it at all.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's something to like take into consideration too when looking at how Vault of Glass will return, because like in the long run, it's going to be the same thing with Venus as the Cosmodrome.
Mm-hmm.
Like unless they rework or make completely new lost sectors for Venus, it's going to be the same thing. There's not going to be a whole lot to do in Venus other than the raid.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The Ishtar
and then
Academy is the only other thing that
yeah,
I
but
can think of
that's
that I'd want.
that's right. But Ishtar Academy is more sightseeing than any actual
Yeah.
activity going on in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's again, it's just like I would have to say a planet would have to go in order for Venus to come back a little bit
Mhm.
more fleshed out, and for the long haul, essentially, you got to have strikes in Venus. You got to have Vault of Glass, Lost Sectors. So I don't know. It's tough, but
Yeah.
There's also the other possibility. Inca and I have actually talked about this a couple of times, where it's actually might even be a possibility that when Vogue comes back, it's not even the Venus version of Vogue.
Yeah.
Right. Like the Vault of Glass could be accessed through other Vex portal gates
Mhm.
into
through
different-
Nessus.
Yeah, exactly. Nessus or even
Yeah,
through
Europa.
the
Europa.
Glassway. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think something like that would be cool for a functionality point. That way they're not having to go back and rehash an entire new one.
Mhm.
But
Right.
yeah, so that could be something that could happen in the future. Obviously, we don't know, but
I would say that like whatever they do, whether they do it on Venus or they do it on a new location, part of the nostalgia for me for that raid is like having unknowing blueberries help you with the opening. Like
oh yeah, that's a really good point.
Like that raid starts outside in the open. Anybody can help you do it.
Yeah.
And so like
Really?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Mosh. It is one of my
There's a
favorite
couple places,
experiences.
yeah.
What?
It is one of my favorite experiences in all of Destiny, cuz you would show up, and if somebody were on patrol, they could help you form the spire. And once
Giggity.
once you did that, the team of 6 goes in, whereas everybody else just kind of sees the door open and they're not able to do much else. It kind of adds this like air of intrigue to the entire
Mystery.
ordeal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Mosh. Oh my God, Mosh.
I can get behind that.
I want you to experience that so badly that you should get Destiny 1 and we should get a character up so that we can show
It
you
was
that.
really cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
So that's a big portion of it for me. Outside of that, Venus doesn't really hold too much nostalgia. Except Ishtar Academy, but that's mainly just because the locations, like the set pieces around that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm whatever it is, I'm excited to get it, but I want it.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. I would want the greatest hits version of it. Now, something that I would want the full experience on is the Dreadnought. If the Dreadnought comes back,
100%.
that is something that I don't think they can skip on any of the spaces. Because because of how big and in-depth that space is.
If anything, they could introduce new areas of the Dreadnought that we didn't visit it, because that fucking ship is massive.
Huge.
Yeah. We didn't
It's
even
a
see
huge
17th Suite.
fucking ship.
Yeah.
And we know that Osiris now has interest in the Hive because he's been to the Dreadnought prior to this season, I want to say, prior to him losing Sagira. So it's still up there.
What is up with these old timers finding new enemies?
Yeah. Between Saladin and the Cabal and Osiris and the Hive, I'm confused about.
Bro, I wanted to be like, yo, Saladin, you have no reason to get upset. Where were you, good sir? You were off. You were. I was chilling in the tower, Guardian.
He literally says that. He says that during his thing.
Yeah, it's like, why are you mad?
It's like, I was ready to Iron Banner. Like, what?
It's like, okay, you were running Iron Banner and you clearly saw shit going down, but no, you were still running Iron Banner, so stop.
It's like, here goes my power level sweat fest.
For real. I hope that steady hand does you well, Guardian.
But only in PvP, because I don't care about the outside world.
He just hits his fiery gong and moves on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Greatest hits, yes. I don't need the full thing back. Short answer.
Absolutely not.
Agreed. Yep.
I wouldn't mind if they do something in Nessus, honestly.
Oh, do you think they'd get rid of Nessus?
I mean, I don't think they get rid of Nessus. I would like for them to add things. Like, if you're going to do Vault of Glass, and Vault of Glass is related to Venus, then just, Vexor on Nessus, throw a Vex portal on Nessus. Because nobody goes
They're
to
in
Nessus.
Europa, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well,
There's you have the infinity whatever place, it's Well of Infinitude.
yeah.
And that huge Vex area and structure there.
Like, Europa's new and has all the stuff. Since Beyond Light started, there's been little to no reason for us to go to Nessus. Like, I think it's the only other planet other than EDZ that stayed after Darkness took over, right?
To be honest, though, looking at this from, I would say from a different perspective, it would probably be in Bungie's interest to keep players in the new planet rather than for them to return to an older planet, which at this point, personally, I'm kind of done with Nessus.
Yeah.
I would not mind seeing. I think if they tied it for something in a campaign or something for New Light or something like that. I think they have you go there and talk to Failsafe at one point.
Yes.
But I think that's about it.
But they could easily move
they can easily remove that. Nobody cares about Failsafe at this point.
Oh man. I'm so glad Aura's not here.
I've just angered some lore person somewhere.
Oh boy.
Hello, I am some lore person.
Hi, how are you?
I have a certain finger I would like to show you. Yeah, I don't know. There, ride with me on this.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. What if there were rotating locations to start the raid? To start Vault of Glass.
Oh, like have it in 1 week, for example, on
1 week Europa, the next week Nessus, and like
technically lore wise that makes sense, and I think that would be dope as shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know how feasible that is realistically. But that would be awesome.
me neither. Idea wise, Nito Mosquito. The other
I would like it for day one. Because don't tell anybody where to raid it.
yeah.
Be like, raid day, let's go. You have to find it on every single planet. Have
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, that would be neat. Outside of that, I think that covers the vault. How are the weapons that you guys are finding? Like we got a new exotic bow this season.
Spicy.
Yeah.
that you get with the season pass. It is called Taiku's Divination.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Or like
Sure.
tickle.
Tickle, tickle.
So basically, when it's fired from the hip, the three arrows seek out enemies, much like Eyes of Tomorrow. If you get it. And precision hits with perfectly drawn arrows increase the power of detonation. What are your thoughts on the bow?
I love it. I am a bow fan.
Same.
It yeah.
We
I
know,
already-
Dan.
Yeah, he doesn't take off his bow. I will use a bow for everything. And the fact that there is a bow that now tracks and has the red boxes that make it look like you've got, wall hacks. It's great.
To be fair, that's not new though.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not new. I think Eyes of Tomorrow has it too. Where
Eyes of Tomorrow and
Yeah.
the Drake tanks.
Yeah.
Drake. Oh yeah. I forgot about those. But we don't use them.
Right. Well,
But
anymore.
well, yeah.
By the way, there is a tank on the inverted spire, just in case if Protheon is out there listening.
Oh hell yeah.
But the bow requires a lot of setup that people aren't privy to do. You have to hip fire, then you've either got to kill them or hit them again. And people want, I guess, a exact reward.
Instant gratification, which the Trinity
Yeah.
Ghoul affords you.
Yeah.
Yes, very true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get where people are just like, this bow's bad. That's fine. I like my triple shot bow that flies in different places.
It's a neat bow.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's a neat.
I'm
bow.
not a bow guy. I'm not a
Yeah.
bow guy, but Taiku is actually really, really fun. I've been enjoying using it.
Yeah. I used it for the first day, and then I think I used it in the Nightfall once,
Mhm.
like for a little bit, and then just
Mhm.
ended up switching over to Trinity Ghoul, which is 100% the good call on on that one, especially if you have the catalyst for it. Yeah, it's fine. Not my favorite thing in the world. Not the worst thing in the world, but it is what it is.
I will
Yeah.
say if you have a team of 3 all running it during the battlegrounds, you can actually 2 people do shoot from the hip and 1 person aim
Oh,
on sights, and it procs.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's doing something like that where you're coordinating with the teammate. I did that second or third day. It actually is pretty tasty. Not all the time, but it was pretty fun. So
yeah.
Yeah.
that's all.
What are some other weapons that dropped this season? We have not only that, we have so Shadow Price. Has anybody had a good one drop for them?
I got a Feeding Frenzy Swash.
Okay,
Oh.
that sounds spicy. That sounds really good.
Yeah, I haven't used it yet.
I haven't got one to drop yet.
I haven't had one drop yet, much to the chagrin of Larry Bird Dunking and several others in the chat today. We had what else? What else do we have? We had the Salvager's Salvo rocket launcher
Oh yeah,
Yeah, has
Grenade
anyone
launcher.
gotten
or
that
grenade
yet?
launcher.
I don't
Excuse
have.
me.
I don't have it yet.
What
I'm actually working towards it.
yeah.
Don't have it.
What are the steps that you're doing for it?
All I need is the points.
Okay.
So just doing nightfalls for that.
So just tell me how is it not
Mountaintop.
Mountaintop?
I don't know.
It looks a lot.
I don't
like
think it has
Mountaintop.
micro. I think it's because it doesn't have micro missile.
Okay.
So
Fair.
it doesn't shoot the grenade like in a straight path how Mountaintop did.
Yeah. TBL's in chat. He says simple. It's green, Dan.
Of course he would.
We took Mountaintop, but we colored it green.
It has an arc to the shot as well, says Inca Raids. Okay. I
Right, because that's what made Mountaintop annoying. It was
Yeah.
the micro
Mhm.
missile.
it just
Which, by the way, Mountaintop and Crucible, I have run into a lot of teams using it, and it is now a pain in the ass again. Just for the record. Only
Sunsetting
for-
works.
I mean, you're
That's
not
all.
seeing that in comp.
Oh god, no.
No. Yeah, you're seeing it in just like regular ass Crucible play, right? How is the Crucible right now?
It's all right.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's fine.
I avoided Crucible this season after last season. I have a headache.
Yeah. I think I'm waiting for them to tune stasis more than anything else.
Yeah.
And even then, the extent of my Crucible experience has been like a few solo Iron Banner matches, which were fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it.
That's fair. See, I am one of those scumlords that actually enjoys Crucible right now with stasis.
Oh, I've seen the videos.
yeah.
I've seen the footage.
Shame him.
Yep.
Do it.
Speaking of Crucible, Trials this week had the
Mhm.
Messenger. Has anybody gotten a roll on that yet?
I got two, but they're not great.
Yeah. TBL brings up the Desperado can run on that thing, which is
Yes.
bonkers.
Yeah.
Why that exists, I don't know. But yeah, so I haven't. This season is probably the only season that I felt compelled to really run Trials outside of. Trials of the 9, I didn't even feel compelled to do it because you got it if somebody else did.
Countdown was bad.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
The armor this season for Trials looks really, really good too.
Mhm. Everything about it does, for the most part. Like, so we're getting the Messenger. That's the pulse rifle. What's the hand cannon
Correct.
called?
I can tell you right now. Give me 1 second.
Do it. Tell me right now, Papa.
It is called the Igneous Hammer.
Okay. And then we have the sword.
There's an S word in there too, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
It's called the
See if I
3-peak
find
no
it.
fun.
How ironic is that, right?
Sola's Scar.
Sola Scar.
I, for some reason, have been calling it Salt's Edge because of
Salt.
Twitter.
I mean, that makes sense.
I like this. I like this more. I'm calling it Salt's Edge.
Yeah. I mean, it looks red
That's
as
valid.
hell. But
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, it looks
it's
great.
real ironic that they put that in.
It is 100% a troll thing,
Yeah.
and I
Oh yeah, it has
So-
to be.
I was like looking up, and somebody brought this to my attention earlier today, where it's like there are little hints in the quest tabs for people to just deal with stasis. There's like one from Lord Shax is just like, you should run Crucible with stasis, otherwise you're like a big baby or something. It's just like, what? Bungie's trolling at this point. I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. But
What about any of the seasonal weapons? Just from the world
Hey.
loot pool.
I'm going to call TBL out. I just saw him log into Destiny 2.
Okay.
TBL, get in the
All right.
podcast right now.
I'm gonna. If he does that, I'm gonna have to readjust some things.
oh dear.
Make him do it.
Oh my god. But yeah, so the bow, we got a void bow. Been liking that one.
Sorry, I'm just reading TBL in chat.
No, that's fine. Trials calls podcast second, says Nathan Sane. No joke. For those of you wanting to know, TBL is not here because he had a lovely date with a significant other.
Aww.
Ooh.
Aww. Ooh.
So moving from there,
End thought. Move on.
let's see, where are we on the list here? We had basically the only other note that we have here is the Aeon cult changes, which is some of the biggest, I think, for any exotic that we've had in Destiny 2 so far.
I like them.
Yeah, how does everybody feel about them?
I would rather them give it some purpose. And this gives it like a reason to use Aeon, because Aeon cults have been a meme for all of Destiny 2's existence, pretty much. Like nobody
Yeah.
uses it.
Mhm.
When I came in, people were memeing about cults. I was just like, I will just never use this exotic. Cool. And I've never used it.
It only took us 4 years to get here, guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Only 4.
So for those of you at home who do not know, they covered this in the TWAB from the 4th of February. They said that they wanted to create role-based mechanics and reward you for doing the things that your role is supposed to be good at. Create mechanics that reward other players on your fire team when you fulfill your role, and give your fire team incentive for each player to take on a different role. So instead of having a single monolithic exotic perk to handle this, we opted to take a page out of Armor 2.0 and give Aeon Cult exotics their own unique mod socket and mods, which are all unlocked as soon as you acquire the exotic, and each of which is tied to one of the different Aeon roles. One of the first role, Sect of Force, you specialize in punishing powerful combatants before they can harm your allies. You get rapid precision hits with a weapon temporarily increase your reload speed and weapon swap speed. When you stun a champion or defeat a boss mini-boss, your nearby fire team members gain a burst of grenade and melee energy. Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Force role equipped also gain a burst of super energy. The Sect of Insight, successive precision weapon takedowns have a chance to drop an orb of power for your allies. When you use a finisher on an elite, you generate special ammo to your fire team. When you use a finisher on a boss or mini-boss, you generate heavy ammo for your fire team. Nearby Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Insight role equipped also gain a bonus to weapon damage for a short time. And the final one is the Sect of Vigor. Gain class ability energy as your allies die. Gain full class ability energy when you resurrect an ally. And when you cast your super, nearby allies gain an instant burst of healing. Aeon Cult allies do not have the Sect of Vigor role equipped also gain an overshield. So, has anybody used these? Do you have to use all Aeon Cult stuff in order for it to work? And if not, what is the benefit to team members who do not have it on?
I can't. I do have them on my Titan.
Mm-hmm.
I have not run with people who have it either, like who are running it as well. I have heard, however, that you can, if you have a team wearing them, you can get some pretty nasty, heavy uptime and things like Gambit.
Mm-hmm. I've heard
So-
it totally breaks the heavy ammo economy.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. Honestly, let it have its day.
Yeah.
it needs it.
It does.
After 4 years of being memed on, it kind of needs it.
Let it be the most overpowered exotic in the game, please.
Yeah, for real.
Honestly, I would have loved to see this on clan-specific gear instead of, or like,
Clan gear?
yes,
Interesting.
That would
yeah.
yeah, it would
Interesting.
incentivize you to be in a clan. A, B, to work with that clan, and like go from there. It also adds loot into a pool for being in a clan. I don't know why they
Give it
haven't
to
done that yet.
Hawthorne.
Give it to Hawthorne. She's got
Yeah.
She just never knows how to stop.
No, they took that out. They took it out.
I know
and
it's
Oh.
sad.
gone. Why are you? No. You should not be sad. You should be just.
Does she
I'm
speak
not
at all
gonna say
now?
it, but you should be happy.
No, she
I
doesn't
don't-
speak. She doesn't speak. It gives you a wall of text, and that's it.
I'd change.
Good.
Wow.
Not good. I'm sad. I used to sit here and say the entire thing.
Okay, I dare
Hold
you.
it.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
We've got time.
yeah. I got 5 on it.
I mean,
Yeah.
like from memory?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've done this only to yourself.
Mhm.
All right.
Welcome to the show.
Let's see.
Everyone get your tea. Let's just take a sip.
Oh yeah. Was it you just never quit, do you? Took out Gaul, woke up the Traveler, and all I hear in the city is people talking about I don't even remember. But
All right. You owe me 5.
what?
I don't know. You just send me 5 or whatever. I'll accept it gladly.
PTSD
pull it-
is exactly right.
Like
Just
it became a
shaking,
stupid thing.
getting your clan Ingrams.
Oh no.
It became a stupid thing during stream where I would wait and I would pull it up on my phone and I would read it word for word with her as she
Yeah.
said it, just to give people a headache. I'm just like, I love it.
Oh my god. Outside of that, outside of those changes, we covered a lot of the news over the
Mhm.
past couple weeks. Outside of that, shall we get into questions?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right. So the only question that I was able to source outside of Ophi the Peacocks, you just never quit, do you? Was from Greg
Took out
Fox
Gaul.
2K30. With the sudden change with the cast of characters this season, can you see the NPC changing of the guard, where other folks get to speak up and take up a more active role in the narrative? Who would you want to step up to a speaking role as well?
Well, with this, I think it's more so not even this season, but this expansion in general. They've given center stage to what have been like the world characters and the secondary characters, where you have like your like Dark Vanguard
Mhm.
with Drifter and Eris and Exo Stranger just hanging out. And then you've got kind of like the Vanguard taking a step back. And Zavala's there, but Zavala's also like, say, Saladin and Osiris and Crow now. And I'm interested to see what they do with Ikora, because there's a handful of other characters that I'd like to see. Maybe that's something they
Mhm.
could do with Failsafe. Is just port Failsafe into the tower and have her help out Ikora for next season.
Oh wow, that's
that is, I would like that.
yeah.
Give have I mean, we had Forsaken, and Petra was like one of the focal points of Forsaken.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind if Petra came back and like how this season's Zavala focused, next season's like Korra focused, and she has like her own little gang of characters. I don't know.
Yeah. The that brings I would love to see Korra take a more central role.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
been too long since she's been in the spotlight.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, it's been since Season of the Undying.
Yeah, no, like literally the first season of Shadowkeep.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
Yeah, that's man. Yeah, I would love to see Ikora come back. Honestly, I would like to see Hawthorne take a role.
I wouldn't mind that either.
Like,
They took away her dialogue.
yeah, they took
No,
away
we're
her
good.
dialogue. She's just I mean, I don't know, like something about the human faction, like the human faction in this world that is ruled by guardians, basically. What is their role now? Like, she's shown that she can fight in Destiny 2. What does she do now? Right?
Not get killed
Clearly.
by
I don't know.
staying in the last city, and we do the rest. As the good traveler intended.
Gotcha.
Well,
I don't know. There's some story beats in there. Like,
Yeah.
have we heard from Shiro in a while?
Mm.
Recently? In
I
the
think
lore?
that dude fell off
Yeah.
the like Phil Winter's
He
Peak or something.
He fell off the
Oh,
galaxy.
he's just gone. He left. I mean, honestly, that entire area where Hawthorne is, like, I'd love to hear some, at least some sort of story arc from, like New Monarchy, or any of the like the factions from faction rallies. I mean, they're from a story perspective, they could throw in a lot of extra flavor text to things, with at least being out in the outer edges of the system with Dead Orbit. I mean, that could be a cool thing to bring into like the Europa space. So little stuff like that, if they are going to bring in, people like Shiro or Saladin or people that haven't had these extra like voice lines or story points, it'd be cool to bring in some stuff that we haven't seen for years.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
man.
now that I'm thinking about it, like, so Darkness took over, and the only faction NPC that's still there is Dead Orbit dude. And that was literally their whole thing. It's like, we got to get out of here before Darkness comes.
Too late,
They're
bro.
just sitting very smugly in the hangar, like, I
Yeah.
fucking told you, bro.
Told you
Like,
so.
you didn't want to listen, and like, here we are. Like, what the fuck?
I would not mind like an entire season of I Told You So.
Oh my god.
There's no actual missions.
Mr. Ninja 34 does raise a good point. It is hard to have all the NPCs doing something, but
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
it does feel like they're bringing maybe their second and third tier up more into the story and giving them something to do, and maybe they are solidifying the cast to just that core group. But I don't know. Next question comes from Inca Raids. The Crow's dialogue at the end of Battlegrounds has been a revelation to me. What are your thoughts about Destiny questions the morality of our collective actions in game?
I think somebody touched on this yesterday when I was talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
They think Crow is going to become the speaker.
I mean, I think Mylan had a video on that not too long ago.
Okay, so this has footing then.
Yeah.
Where it's like the traveler is like still watching, and he's like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing with Darkness?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing over there? You've welled the light for like the longest time, and now you're just like wielding darkness and waging personal vendetta wars."
Fuck, man, we're having a grand old time. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sorry, big circle in the sky, but I like my ice.
It's like,
Yeah.
bro, you were asleep for way too long. These ships came around and they like gave us candy, and I like the candy, dude.
The candy's great. Can you give us more
Candy's
candy?
Great.
If you can give us more candy, we'll gladly take it from you.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, the question of morality in Destiny is always something like, hasn't it been thought that like maybe we were the bad guys for a long period of time? Like,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
that's
yeah.
been an undercurrent in some thought processes.
even then, like that's been something that has been kind of like thrown around for like the longest time. But honestly, with like Beyond Light, it just makes it hard when like when Elsie, every single time that she talked about stasis, it's for the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
The greater
use this
good.
tool for the for the humanity's sake. And it's just like, just fucking let me just get okay. Okay, Elsie,
Yeah.
we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
For the greater good of humanity, whatever.
Yeah. I think this question also leads beautifully into Ophi the Peacocks. If Zavala finds out that Crow used to be Uldren, do you see Zavala taking his side and allowing him to stay? Or are we going to have to pick a side and pew pew Crow for good?
Based on Zavala's
Um,
actions, he's kind of a pushover. So yeah, Crow's probably
Yeah.
staying.
Well,
I would imagine, especially with Osiris kind of being on Crow's team as well. So even he was excommunicated, but he still has a pretty big pull in the.
If anything, he
greater
probably
story.
knows already. And he's just
Yeah.
playing coy.
yeah.
Probably.
And like,
At the very least, Ikora knows.
Yeah.
At very least, yeah.
I can definitely see Zavala being upset if Uldren becomes a speaker, because Zavala has wanted the Traveler to talk to him for ages. Like, historically in the lore and so forth. So, like,
Are you guys aware of the leaked cutscene that's gonna hovering around the rounds?
Dude, I've had a busy week.
No.
I'm not aware.
No, there's
I am not
there's
aware.
a there's a leaked cutscene that and I'm not going to talk about
Yeah,
it
we don't usually cover it.
because again, there's I don't want this kind of spoilers that aren't in the game yet to be out there. But if you are curious, if you don't care about it, you can just look up leaked cutscene Destiny 2 Season of the Chosen, and you can pull it up if you so wish, chat.
Yeah. Okay. I might have to do that now.
It's pretty neat.
I
It's pretty
might
neat.
actually also do that after
Hmm.
this. To be honest,
Damn you, Nim.
Nem's fault.
That's
I am the little devil on the shoulders.
Oh dear.
I will say,
Where's the angel?
this season, I have not felt that bad about getting spoiled about things.
hmm
Like, I'm just like, okay, cool. I'll look forward to that when
Yep.
it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of par for the course at this point too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like because we're used to it. We've had 4-ish years of leaked information diving way too deep. Yeah, just like just things like that. That
Yeah.
I feel like if you've been here for longer than 2 years, you're into it.
Yeah. I don't know. So, I don't know. To go back to, like, Ophi the Peacock's question, I could see us, I could see, like, if Zavala finds out him being jealous, which also then feeds into the Savathun thread, where possibly Zavala's been, like, slowly
Jedi mind tricked.
Yeah, Jedi mind tricked by Savathun for a while. However,
Yeah.
isn't the crow whistling Savathun's song as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Are we thinking Zavala's gonna go like crazy ex-girlfriend? He's like, well, the traveler won't take me. The enemy to
Maybe
traveler. Tell him to
Savathun-
make him
Eh.
jealous.
I mean, it's a petty move, but we've seen worse.
Yeah.
Final question of the evening comes from our good buddy, the Black Link. What is your favorite new weapon of the season? I found myself loving the SMG and rocket with Frenzy.
That rocket launcher with chain reaction. has been carrying my ass for the past week. I used it in the raid this morning. I used it for every battlegrounds I've been in. That I haven't been using Eyes of Tomorrow, which I've had longer than Dan.
Wow!
All
Wow!
right. Well, this is something else.
I felt like that was just a little unnecessary out of everything that we like, because I felt like we found the line,
You know,
and Mosh just danced all over that line.
you know when Moon was like, we should bring MoshPatt on for an episode, I was like, I don't know. Now here we are.
Oof. No, straight rude. The audacity of you.
That was cold-blooded. This man is an absolute savage. Holy sheesh.
I earned it.
I don't even think we need to answer the
Love
question.
you,
Just
buddy.
leave it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute Mosh now. So I'm just gonna go from there. His recording is gonna be 20 minutes of just laughter.
Just overdub him as a chipmunk for like the rest of the episode.
Perfect. Will do. Thank you.
Oh,
Will
no,
do.
I'm crying.
Oh my goodness.
What about
the
you, Dizzy?
absolute savagery.
I'll be honest, I really haven't gotten that many new weapons. Even the ones I've been quote unquote grinding for, I just haven't gotten them to drop. I've played way more Gambit than I should, and I haven't had a single bottom line drop. So
Yeah.
I don't really have. So I really like the SMG, but I'm gonna be honest. I think as far as aesthetics, the Siva ornament on Anarchy, I'm considering myself a new gun. So
Okay.
I've just, but yeah. Other than that, I still haven't gotten a whole lot of new drops, so I'm working on it.
Got a bottom dollar today out of my first Gambit match.
Thanks, appreciate it. I've played.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it's real nice. Actually, there's a clanmate of mine who played for 17 hours. Literally, he played Gambit for 17 hours, not a single one dropped.
Oh Christ.
I
That is
kid you
painful.
not. Yep, and then
Lord.
Ophi in Shad, she played like 4 matches and got 3. So it's just a giant spectrum.
Devil on the shoulder, guys. Devil on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like I want to say the Imperial Needle, which is the new bow from the new expansion. But honestly, the role that I'm looking at the most, and I'm like, I should really use this more, is hold your breath, guys. It's a scout rifle. It is the Eternal Blazon, the Amalon scout rifle that it's arc in the special slot or in the energy slot, and it's got full auto trigger and kill clip.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I have one of those with one for all instead of.
Where does that drop from?
Vanguard.
Vanguards, yeah.
Yep.
It is
Like I cash in tokens when I got it?
And like at the end of strikes, I got mine
Yeah.
after as a pinnacle drop.
I think
my,
I
just
got mine.
3 strikes. Yeah.
I think I got mine the same way, but it's like it's pretty spicy. I think I should maybe use it more. Like looking at it more and more, I'm like, it might be my it might be a go-to, and it's a scout, which is real weird to say. I don't want to
Scouts
say
are
it about a
pretty
scout.
nice.
They're getting there.
Between Trustee and this one?
Yeah,
It's good.
definitely.
I'm still
getting-
waiting on Palindrome.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's one.
That's what I'm gonna grind the crap out of. So
Heck yeah! Oh man, I can't wait for that to come back.
Mhm.
With that, so TBL said bonus question.
No.
What?
We're good.
Why not?
Why?
'Cause
Why?
that man is doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
What is he doing on purpose?
Go ahead.
he did ask who here bought the new Eververse armor ornaments.
I have not, but they look amazing.
I'm gonna go to
silver
the
too,
bathroom. I'll be back shortly.
I have not, but I plan to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same. At the very least, a Warlock one. That
Nim
Warlock
definitely
one
bought all of them.
looks great.
Good for you.
Look, I don't need you
I'm not
judging me,
not
Sean.
judging you.
Or the TBL.
Okay.
I know for.
He is definitely judging you.
Oh, absolutely. Look at him in chat. Look at him
Yeah.
being smug in chat.
How much did you
How much
spend?
did you?
How much did you spend?
How much did
Look,
you?
that
How
is-
much does it cost?
I mean, that is kind of
I think it's
personal,
like-
but how much?
I'm just kidding.
I think it's like $15.
Okay.
Oh, that's not even that bad.
Because it's like, I think it's like 1,500 silver,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what that man is doing in chat, and I will not be shamed.
Yeah.
TBL.
We didn't talk about one thing, and I would like.
Yeah.
How does everybody feel about the new seasonal challenges?
Oh, they're
System.
fun. They're great.
I feel like it adds an added layer of FOMO, though,
Okay, how so?
where it's like I know they're like, oh, you don't have to be on every week, but they're like attaching bright dust and XP, which is fine, but then like seasonal reputation for the thing that you need is attached to 3 of them, and they're like the 3 ones that take the longest. And I like it, but for like a player that isn't going to play Destiny as much as like say we would,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to be able to keep up with it.
Well, I also think that that's maybe not necessarily on. I think for us, it feels like gating, but for somebody who maybe drops in 3 weeks in, it's going to be a much better change for them.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know.
I like the fact that it's something that if you don't start it, on week 1, I mean, you can do every single one of those challenges like on week 5 if you so choose, which I'm sure it's going to feel like a lot to catch up on, but I think that's one of the reasons like why that exists currently. It's just to kind of give players additional avenues for that particular type of reputation or for bright dust and stuff like that, which I think it's fine, honestly.
If
I finished all of mine like a couple of days ago. It didn't take too long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Is it the model? Is it just adding on top of the challenges, or going to be a rotating like thing like bounties?
No, it's like those challenges are the challenges for that week, and then the next week you get more challenges, and then the next week you get more challenges. So
because there's the challenge underneath it, 75 challenges.
yeah,
It's like,
Right, and
but
that's going to be for like the full season, I'm assuming.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all the way at the end. The idea
Yeah.
is that like you can, if you don't play for 10 weeks, there's 12 weeks in the season. If you don't play for 10 weeks, you could go in and knock it out in 2, if you really had a drive to do so. But you would get all the challenges done, get all the XP for the season, get all the bright dust for the season, and have non-expiring rewards.
Okay, then I can get behind that one.
So, personally, to me, it sounds like they want you to play other games.
Yeah.
Go play Apex
Hey guys,
for a
who plays
while.
Apex Legends?
Yeah. I don't know. But overall, that was the that's the last thing that I could think of. Is everybody else good?
Yeah.
How do you like your steaks? I don't know.
Oh man,
We should introduce a vote to ban system.
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking to Moon about this one. So
oh no.
outside of that, that's our show. That's episode 269 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Let's go through and allow you guys to promote the work that you guys do on the internet and where people can find you. Let's start with Mosh just to get him out of the way.
Nice. Well, hi once again. My name is Mosh. I'm on Twitch, but I don't have a schedule because I'm a horrible streamer. I'm just kidding. I I'm on Twitter. I'm more on Twitter more than Twitch.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I talk junk on Twitter. Then I don't back it up on Twitch. It's fine.
Oh, nice. There we go.
There you go.
At least you're honest.
Yes. Dizzy, what about you?
All right. Well, so number one, thanks for having me, guys. Great to be here. So I stream pretty regularly on Twitch, usually Tuesdays through Fridays in the mid afternoons. Playing a lot of Destiny. I also do a lot of retro games like Donkey Kong and Mario 64 and stuff like that. One thing I do want to bring up is that as of the end of this week, when it's coming out, my clan, the Fundament, is actually putting on a dungeon race held for charity for Guardians Mental Health. It's basically a race of teams that there'll be 20 of them, and it'll be all 3 dungeons for $15 a piece, as you guys can put in, and then most of the proceeds, except for some of the winnings, are going towards Guardian Mental Health. And if anyone wants to be involved with that, I think we still have like 4 or 5 slots left open. But that'll be on Saturday the 20th. If anyone is interested in being a part of that,
Starting at what
I
time?
have to.
I believe it's 1 p.m. Eastern.
Excellent.
Yep. So if anyone's interested, hit me up on Twitter or Twitch. My handle is just Dizzy DLO with an underscore on Twitch, but that's about it. Yeah.
I'm gonna actually have to do that.
It's a lot of fun. So yeah, we our goal was to raise $500 for Guardians, and we met that. And because we met all of our goals, there's new rules in place. So like you have to wear a bow, or you have to use a bow. No duplicate exotics, no war mind cells, stuff like that. So it's going to be kind of a fun, slightly memey competition, and we're really excited to be a part of it. Yeah.
Nice.
Heck yeah, man. Like, awesome job. Good job doing that, or excellent job planning that. Thank you guys both for being on the show. Nim,
Thanks for having me.
where can people find you?
Primarily over on Twitter. If you want to talk to me a little bit more directly, it's twitter.com/nemplays. And the occasional once a year stream over at twitch.tv/nemplays, if you so choose. But Twitter, I'm more active on there.
Heck yeah. And I am Danfinity. You can find me 3 days a week, twitch.tv/Danfinity, where the eyes are eyes. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and now the TikTok under Danfinity, where the eyes are L's.
The fact that you called it the TikTok.
Yeah, no, I did
makes
it the
sound like
most
you're too
boomer
old
way that
to
I could.
be-
I did it the most
You're
boomer way
too
that I
old
could.
to be on TikTok because you said the TikTok.
Oh, hey kids, I am on that TikTok over there, where I'll be doing the silhouette challenge later on, just for TBL. And then
Oh no!
let's see here. I've got released a new shirt this week. That's pretty cool. Thanks to Dr. Jones. And this show, the entire time, had nothing go wrong with it. I wanted to hold my breath. I noticed it about halfway. We didn't drop the host. There was no audio, anything, or Craig didn't leave. It was great. That's it. That's all I want to say.
I'm glad I could be here for this accomplishment.
Yeah. If it happens next week, we're going to invite you guys back for good luck. So,
Oh, well, you got 2 more months of me, so, you know.
outside of that, thank you all for joining and listening to Planet Destiny.
Planet episode 69.
Planet Destiny episode 269. I hope you find what you're grinding for. Happy Valentine's Day. Be safe.